Okay.
Yeah, my
I
apologies
don't
as
think
you
it's
just
a
threatened them.
spoiler,
Okay.
Sarah. I already did say I do take
I'm
accountability
gonna
that I
drop
should
the
have
white
reached
man.
out to the other women to make sure like they were fully aware of the project. So I do
Finally, I'm
agree
not the
with
one
that.
dropped.
When
Hey,
it
Mac.
comes to like the Harry Sisson series, I do wish
Hey.
I
The
would have
only
gone
black
maybe a
person on
different
the
direction
panel.
in terms of how it was presented within that first part. Because I think the critique of behavior would have been better rather than necessarily see. So it's so weird to me. Maybe you guys can give me like answers in this. Is that we encourage women to like speak up and to like amplify their voices
Unless
and
it's
to center
Sean's
their
victim,
voices,
right?
and then that happens, and it's like, oh well,
And
we don't
except if
want
they
you to
ask
do
you
this.
not to.
Right.
Mac, can you tell Irish's Discord, because I'm not in there, that we're live on this account?
Yeah, I will. I'll share it.
Listen, it's also 12:30 in the morning. Y'all are gonna get like half an hour at me out of me
I've
at the most.
apologized for
So
misgendering all of you
That's
not coming up.
Repeatedly.
I guess
Are
I'm
we not
going in
respecting
there in a
boundaries?
few minutes then.
So femme presenting people are allowed to share their story unless it's a white femme presenting individual sharing their story about Sean. Got it. Also, I just wanted to come over here to like say mostly that I think what's happening to
So
Sean's
when we talk like
victim
about against
is
their will,
disgusting.
you
I
know, when
think
it
the
comes to like
I think
speaking
using the term white woman
out,
tears to describe somebody who is talking about their
why would you
sexual
not
violence or
want your
sexual
voice
assault
amplified?
is disgusting. White woman tears imply that you are crying about something that is either irrelevant or untrue, or you are trying to escape
I'm not
accountability
shitting
from
all
being a
for that at all.
racist.
I mean, if all
That is
wants to
not
have
what Elle
interactions
did. And then
with Chris,
suggesting and talking about, you know, like allegations affecting the Black community has no relevance in Elle coming out and sharing a story. It would have relevance if it was proven that Elle was lying. It hasn't been proven that Elle is
my answer,
lying. So
my
what is
question
the
is why
relevance in
why
that?
not want
Are
Which
we trying to discredit
you know,
her
if you
or
did
them,
speak up
sorry,
and you
because
did
they
want
are
to speak
white?
up against Harry,
What's the
then
relevance?
why
I'm very
not have
curious.
the
which
voice?
There
by
is
the
no
way,
relevance.
That's my
Kenzie
question.
said in DMs to Irish that Elle was lying. I just want to put that into
If Elle was lying, then why is Sean in chat lying
Because
about
I
the
do think
order
that
of
really
which
brings
both of
insight
them came
into
forward with
like
their
the discussions
story?
that we were having.
Because I'll put up my camera right now. I got a screenshot of
Right, which is why I
me on my alt account
removed their name and
asking
removed their
Sean
picture.
who
There's
came
no
out
way anyone could
first,
link them to
and
anything.
Sean said that they did. So that's interesting, right? Because why would you lie
I
about
do
such
think
a
it does matter.
minute fact? So that's on my screen right now. I know it's like small, so it's probably not convenient, but that's what this is. So
Echo, is this being recorded?
yeah,
I
oh
mean,
shit, why
you
is it like
saying they
that?
didn't want to be mentioned
Well,
it's
I
in
because
guess
all
it's
of
my
messed
this isn't
up.
layout.
true.
It's because my layout.
Again, I
That's
don't know
all.
why people like,
That's okay. I took the
had
screenshot.
positions
But yeah, no,
that they
Sean,
were a part of
question,
conversations when they
why is
weren't.
Sean lying about small facts? You know who lies about small facts? Rapists. You know, like, because there's no other reason to lie about that fact.
You smell
Because
one
clearly that's
sniff.
not true.
I don't
And
know
clearly Sean knew
but you
that
smell
their
that one
victim
sniff.
came
You did not
out
see
because
the
they
other
posted an entire thing about
conversations recorded
Darvo
on
and
their
how their ex
Instagram.
was
You
going
did
to
not see the direct
Darvo
DMs. Like
in
there's a
Kenzie's
lot
server
that you did not see.
last night. So Sean knows that this victim came forward. This victim came forward first, mid-March.
Sean tried to damage control.
This is genuinely
Exactly.
making me so
It's
sad.
damage control.
Yep.
I'll sit here and say this. I believe the victim who comes out first. If it's a situation where two people are accusing one another, I believe the victim who came forward first, because what it is to me, I've just seen time and time again, you know, men, not saying Sean's a man, but I've seen time and time again with debating men on this platform about grape culture, I have seen time and time again, men specifically, and also, maybe some women here and there, mostly men, say that they were the victim of the person who accused them.
Y'all from Irish
And
Descent are so
oftentimes,
cute.
when further questioned, it's clear that that is not the case. So, yeah, I'll believe the victim who came out first.
I'm not monitoring the chat, so please don't.
You're
restrain
fucking
all of your
monitoring the
pronouns or they
chat.
them.
You're answering
No,
every
literally.
question.
Heavy monitoring
So
the
I'm not
chat.
modding.
I'm honestly
for
just
that.
sad about this because
I don't know what you're talking about by boundaries.
I hope that victims don't come forward to these people that are over here denying victims. 'Cause,
Right.
That's
they're
I mean,
at
not
least
okay.
that's at least
Astral,
two
you
stories
ate
that
in the
Kenzie has
comments. I'm not
denied.
gonna lie.
Did I really? I'm sorry. I
Yes.
didn't even know. Thank you, though.
Every comment, I was like, yes.
In Kenzie's life?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I didn't even know. Like, she said to me that I was banned or whatever because I was spamming. And I was like, okay, bitch, fuck you then.
Echo, did you get beamed out of there?
No.
I also want to say that I think it's really just
What do you mean by that?
incredibly gross that both Kenzie and
When
Alicia
we talk about
both
enthusiastic
said
consent,
that a person being
you have
labeled
that.
a
I
sexual
don't know what you're
predator
talking about
or
when
a
it comes to
DVer
enthusiastic consent and
is
Irish.
a private matter, according to them. That is a private matter that needs to be kept private between the two individuals.
The
No.
screenshots
Since
that
when did sexual
I
assault become a
believe he showed
private
you are
matter?
from a group chat with me, him, and Jen.
Literally
And
means
yes,
that
he was
they're
actually
doing.
It's private for the abuser, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's
usually it's a thing that
um
keeps occurring.
I don't want to hang out with y'all from okay, please more.
I just, I'm really not
have
okay
not
with the
seen
way that this is
one
occurring right
screenshot.
now. I'm not okay
Maybe,
with Kenzie switching up.
Alex,
Kenzie
I'm
debates
walking
on
through
grape
it. Can you
culture. I
say
can't say the same for Alicia. I'm assuming that Alicia also debates
I
on
have
grape
not
culture.
seen one
But I've
screenshot
seen Kenzie
of
advocate
Irish
against grape culture
addressing
time and time
sexual
again.
harassment
She knows exactly the tenets, the core tenets and principles of what
I would say, like,
upholds sexual
counter
violence in a
things
society.
where
And here
he,
she is contributing to it simply
I say
because
I don't want to be friends
Commissar
anymore,
Sean
and
is
he's
either,
telling
it's
me,
either one of two things. She's scared
why
to,
are you throwing away a 3-year
label
friendship?
Commissar
Well, if,
Sean
he had
as
such
a predator
horrible
due
experience, I
to
don't know why he
Commissar
does something
Sean's
about it.
status as a marginalized
and
individual,
if we
or
are,
it's
like,
because
there are many
she actually has no
screenshots
values
that
and
I post
principles and she just
myself
cares
of
about
me and him
upholding her
fighting.
friend,
And
her
if we're
friend,
having these
and
disagreements, like, again, I
upholding
don't know why that's not
the
being
fact
brought
that,
up.
like, she doesn't
he
want to,
never
break
addressed
off a
that
friendship
me.
with
There's
this
no screenshots
individual.
that say it because I know he didn't.
It's one of the two.
When it come like this,
Kenzie
It's
wanted
really
to say the
gross.
R
this
story.
man took a screenshot of a selfie of me.
Eka, did you happen to, are you
And
recording?
we're to believe
Yep.
that there's
Yep.
no screenshot of this nude.
Okay, good.
There's no
Because
DM
how did
of
it
him
go
telling
from
another
me
friend
literally begging
about this
her to
nude.
talk about
There's no,
the
like,
very
he made
blatant R slur
comments
that she
about
said
my
to,
attire
oh,
on
I have
whatever
screenshots
podcast.
about
There's no,
you? The deflection is absolutely asinine. Once again, divulging personal information and conversations that I had in private with someone that has absolutely nothing to do. She thinks I'm friends with Irish and Sarah. I don't talk to
No.
those people. I don't know shit about those people.
I don't
I was
even
on,
know Sarah.
I don't know the first thing about that woman. Like, hello? She thinks it was a gotcha. She thinks I'm friends with Sarah or something. That's not a gotcha.
No, she
You
said.
just,
And what was the utility in saying that?
She said she was trying to show everybody that Sarah's not a good person. This is the way Sarah talks about people. That's what Kenzie said.
So the bringing
so
up.
I get thrown under the bus to try to prove a point about Sarah when I was talking in confidence to somebody who I thought I could trust about a man.
She was
Got it.
trying to shut you up.
Yeah, and
That's
Yeah.
literally what she did to me. Like,
It was a
Yep.
clear deflection.
I mean, every single thing that's been brought up is, well, Irish does this, well, Sarah does that. Can you please, for the love of fuck and all that is holy, take 1 drop, 1 ounce of accountability for the first time in your life. Like, this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. And now I'm gonna get fucking backlash from the Reddit. Oh my god, Olive and Chris did it. Shut up. This is nobody's fucking business.
Oh, I deleted Reddit. They were irritating me. They were like the people on Reddit have no credibility in my opinion because they were up there yesterday talking about how I've milked enough money out of Bobby and I should stop talking about Bobby, and then also telling me that like what happened wasn't that bad. So I just don't care. While
That's
also
ridiculous.
caring much more about
Always
things that are irrelevant. And then they got frustrated that I pointed out how they were minimizing like Bobby. And they like got mad because I went on live and I pointed out how I'm sorry, but comparing Brussels' situation with Jones to what I was going through, minimizing. It was minimizing. I'll say that. I don't care. I was the victim of Bobby. I can say it. It was minimizing. And it was horrendous. And then they got on Reddit and they were like, Matt compared traumas. How dare she? Sorry. Being stalked for 4 months might have a little bit of a bigger impact on a person's psyche than having a confrontation in a live with a big creator. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. Like, I'm just gonna be honest, and people hate honesty on Reddit, so I deleted the app because I don't want to see their shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
People hate
But yeah,
honesty in
all of
life, honestly.
Kenzie did the same thing to me. She knows that I talked to her about, obviously she knows, talked to her about Irish in like April-ish, and talked about like the issues that we were having, and she then told all of the people in her server whenever all of this came out that she was going to disclose all of the issues that I was having with Irish to further prove her point that Irish was a bad person, blah 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 blah. So it's kind of her MO at this point.
I mean, you can take issues with someone without them being like a really bad person. Like, I take issues with Pulse, but I still fuck with Pulse on occasion. I mean, very much both cis-het white men. Do we not see the problem there?
Right, and well, here's an
Seeing a
example.
pattern.
I like Mac, I really do. But I need to say, Mac, I was watching your live, I just caught the end of it. I don't know who these people are, but you made a mention about somebody who is trans changing their name by one letter. And I just want to say that's not cool.
Oh yeah, I did talk about that.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that that's not cool. You can't and I honestly I don't know what this person did to you, but you can't generalize statements about trans people like that because that's just not cool.
I mean, yeah, people can have whatever opinion they want to about that. I am not necessarily like, again, I think that things were prioritized that shouldn't have been prioritized, and people in the Reddit have more of an issue with talking on Gemma and her name change than the harm that Kenzie and Co has been calling or committing on people.
Oh, for sure. I don't disagree with that. My point being was you can associate with somebody and like call them in and say, hey, what you did I don't appreciate, or I don't think it was cool, but you can still continue on.
Yeah. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting a message.
You're good.
So like I do want to be clear on that. Initially there was no explanation as to why she changed her name. Like I said, we all kind of just assumed that it was a way to we all assumed that she was just changing her name to disassociate with Irish and kind of assume a new identity in Irish's in Kenzie's server. And so we all assumed that's what the name change was, and then whenever she wrote a bunch of long paragraphs, whatever, about I guess trauma that her name holds, and it did seem very like tokenizing
Oh.
because that's not why, like, none of us had that information prior to us talking about the name change. So it just seemed pearl clutchy was all.
She ended her life.
I
Did
get it.
anybody see how upset she got when I said she crop screenshot?
She was
No.
mad.
She got
She ran.
so mad.
Do we
She
gotta-
like sat. She like sat back in her chair and was like, "I wasn't cropping screen."
She also said that like her DB claim against her is like her own personal business.
She
But, like, I wanna
assaulted
point out how, like,
her
Pax
ex. She
just
assaulted
addressed
her
Matt. Oh,
ex
sorry.
in front of her child at her
She-
child's birthday.
Yeah.
She didn't address. She didn't show any evidence to state, like, to show that Irish is lying about any of that.
Heathen
That was
Heathen
not
Muffin. Heathen Muffin, I don't know why you're disappointed in seeing me join this. I came over here because Echo was streaming Kenzie while she was live when she decided to blast some random screenshots about a private conversation that I had with Carly, and text messages from Sarah when I am completely fucking irrelevant to this entire situation. I was gonna go live on my own, and then I said, fuck it, I'm gonna come over here because the conversation's already happening.
I don't know.
So yes, I'm on the panel. If you have a problem with that, I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry at all. Because this woman started this live saying, I really wish more people had requested up so we can have discussions about everything. And as soon as she slanders my name publicly about very intimate details, suddenly I'm not allowed on panel. So yeah, I'm here. Sorry if that upsets you, but
Yeah.
here I am.
And I've never ran this space as like a pro-Irish, pro-Kenzie live. Like, people have been in here from both sides. You make your comments how you want. This is...
Corey, you wanted to say something after Echo?
Yeah,
Sorry, Echo.
So there's two things that I want to say. One, Kenzie was just before we started talking was denying ever sending a schnood, in which that's just false because Kenzie admitted on a live stream that she sent it and admitted it in private DMs, and that was after it was expressed that Irish didn't want that nude to be sent. That's number one. Number two, to add to Olive's point, Olive, you're talking about her bringing you into this, and which is, by the way, like, not a great thing that she's doing. And it's so funny that Kenzie will literally point the finger and say that Green Man is throwing people into this, like Nicole and Gemma, who, by the way, Nicole and Gemma don't even like Kenzie anymore, given all the information that's come out. But we'll have no problem bringing in Mac into this, or bringing in Olive into this, or bringing in 6 women lying to them to try and hurt a man.
Right.
Like,
And
anyway,
keep
I
in
just want to
mind,
say that.
oh, shit. Sorry, hold on.
I was just gonna say, Pax, like, it was very easy. Like, you brought up what you brought up with Mac, and Mac was like, "Oh yeah, I did that." See how easy that was? Like, Kenzie couldn't do that at all. Not once. Not ever.
No.
Yeah, I did that. It might have been in poor taste, but also I'm not really necessarily embarrassed about what I said. I have my own thoughts and ideas behind why I think Gemma changed their name. They don't have to be public. It's not really relevant, and it's just going to be used against me. And I think people already kind of know my thoughts and opinions on that. But
Wait, is Gemma trans?
Gemma is non-binary, she, they pronouns.
Oh, okay.
I just want to
So-
say,
Yet I don't even know Gemma or like what happened. I was just pointing out how easy it was for Mac to be like, "Yep, I did that." Like, it's so easy to just like own something, and Kenzie can't do that.
I just wanted to say, everybody who's like feeling bad that they supported somebody who's now being found out to be a bad person, I would say try not to beat yourself up too bad about it. I mean, the internet, it's very easy to fake who you are. The important thing is if you see the like evidence, and if you see somebody's doing something wrong and you stop supporting it, that's the important thing. I think we're not x-rays, we can't know automatically that someone's a bad person, so
Yeah,
Try not
don't.
to beat yourself up about that. Just, make the right choice once you find out that they're not good.
Yeah, don't kick yourself for following someone first.
Also, I'm sorry, can you hear me? My audio is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay. Keep in mind, she did say her original statement was like, "Oh, Olive, I got some screenshots about you," thinking she had a gotcha. To which I responded, "Show them," because
Amanda, I'm
whatever
gonna
it
drop
is,
you down.
I had no idea what the context could possibly be. Considering I don't talk to her, I don't talk to Sarah, I haven't talked to Irish in months. So yeah, I said, "Show it." Whatever it is, I literally have nothing to hide. And as soon as she said the whole whatever she said and had her little smirk, like a gotcha moment in the comments, I said, "Oh yeah, that 1000% happened. Like, what is the point of this?" Like, unlike you, I will take accountability for anything and everything someone thinks is wrong that I did. So I don't know, maybe do better. Don't be a fucking coward loser and let me on your panel.
No, I agree with that. She really sat there and said nothing. She said, DB and SA is a personal and private matter. She said that, she said before, I guess, in DMs that she doesn't believe Sean's victim. And so I don't really think that this individual can really call herself the queen of feminism on TikTok anymore, because this is not feminism. This is just fucking identity politics and optics at this point.
Yeah, as a feminist, she's not a feminist, whatsoever. But also, can I just say W me for getting blocked on 2 accounts because I made her shit her pants?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
we're
literally got
watching
blocked
that
on 2
cheering you
accounts.
on, Alex.
I was
so
sitting
scared.
in there just going, wait, so no accountability, just nothing. So everyone else is wrong, and you're the victim here. And then she said things, and what did she say? I think it was to Wasabi. Wasabi was like, we saw the screenshots, and then she goes, no, you saw partial. Oh well, actually, I don't know what you saw, but, and I was like, wait, so you don't know what we saw? But
And then
and she blocked me, and I
and
was
then
like,
she
okay,
blocked
cool.
Wasabi as well.
Yeah, she blocked Wasabi as well, and we were just an Irish server, team blocked. Hashtag.
I got so sad when he got muted.
No, I was like, we were just like W blocked list, and then I went in on my second account, and I was like, are you blocking people? Are you scared? And then she blocked me again. I was like, okay.
Quacky, if you want to watch that over and over again at the end, it's on YouTube already.
Nice.
W everybody that got blocked tonight.
I got
What did she
blocked.
say at the end? I got blocked, so I wouldn't know.
I got kicked out of her server, so I entered her server and I explained what she was doing that demonstrated grape culture after Irish put out his announcement about Kenzie. And then she made a folder in her Discord that said Tor's statements. And I messaged in there and I was like, I don't take anything back that I've said. And then she started adding me. She added me 4 times within 12 hours, asking me to respond to these questions that she had raised. And in that, she goes, do you know what really annoys me about Tor bitching out? As if I was scared to respond. I was just giving myself time so I didn't act impulsively, which is what I'm working on. She goes, do you know what really annoys me is how much shit Irish talked about Tor. So I went to Irish and I was like, hey, is this true? And Irish showed me what she was referring to. And what Kenzie was referring to was Irish showing concern over I went through something extremely traumatic in my life. So Kenzie announced to her server she's bitching out and Irish is talking shit about Tor. Meanwhile, the shit talking, she's referencing something that she thought would make me triggered if I knew about it. Anyways, I ended up responding to her messages and ended up saying, you just brought up this really traumatic event in my life and called it shit talking when it was a friend showing concern about me. And she would not address that. she was addressing other things, and then she kicked me out of her server. She blocked me, so I messaged her on TikTok saying, like, why would you bring up this traumatic event? And that's why I was asking Echo, why did she crop that? Because when she sent my DMs to her server, she cropped out the part where I was like, you just brought up this traumatic event in my life on purpose. Why would you do that? And she cropped that and sent it to her Discord server saying that I was violating her consent by messaging her. Anyway,
What?
that's my story.
People love to throw around the word consent when it has no relevance. If you really didn't want people messaging you, you can turn off your DMs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good point.
Alicia's a colorist? Interesting.
So the interesting thing about that is I was actually bringing that up, Mac. So, Mac, before she blocked me, she insulted me a bunch of times in
Anytime,
her
Olive,
DMs,
you're
then
always
blocks
welcome
me.
here.
And saying that this person is not allowed to respond or like blocking you after insulting you is like punching someone in the face and then saying, I don't consent to a fight. Like, it's so utterly fucking ridiculous. If you insult someone with words and then block them and they find another way to contact you to hit back, you can't say I didn't consent to that because you started the fucking fight. Anyway, just want to say that.
Right,
Oh,
but she was talking. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. Just briefly, speaking of Alicia already flat out said that she does not believe Sean's victim. And she said, just because you say something doesn't mean it's true. So, like, just come out with your full chest and say what you need to say. Say that you don't believe the victim because what? She's white? Like, what is this? The victim came out first. She came out first. I don't know why people are anti the logic of believing the first person who came out until there is a valid reason not to. I don't like.
Oh, speaking of Elle, does anybody have her Cash App that we can pin in the comments right now? Because her and her baby are currently homeless.
You can't pin while people are
still
on
have it, I
panels, but
think.
I'm sure Echo can put up like a sticker or something.
Yeah, if anybody can grab her Cash App, that would be great.
And
It's in the
also,
chat,
like,
Echo.
My goodness,
she was
I
talking
love
about
that.
like boundaries and stuff, and like when Olive was like, "Let me up," and everyone was like, "Let Olive up." Like you spoke on their name, like let you up, let them up, and they were like, and she was like, "Oh, well, boundaries," and I was like, "Hold on a sec. So now you care about boundaries when you just brought their name up, like, and then no, guys, boundaries," and it's like, okay, so now we care about boundaries. Okay, cool. Like, bitch, where?
I want to reiterate also that Kenzie and Alicia both.
Question.
Kenzie was asked about the DV and said that's a private personal matter. And Alicia and Sean both, not Sean, sorry, and Kenzie both talked about the Sean allegation and both just said that's a private matter.
So, question, everybody's putting the Cash App in chat. Is that correct? 113 Ellie?
Yes.
Okay. Because there's a
I
symbol
already
after when
sent
people put it
her.
in chat. So I just want to make sure I got it right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
I
Tasha,
already sent some to her today. So
the allegation is that Sean essayed and DV'd her ex. That's the allegation that we're discussing.
There.
Sorry, there. Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna keep.
Sean
I'm
goes
so
by
sorry.
they,
I'm gonna
them.
keep doing that, and it's just because I don't even know. My brain is like fried.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has been. But yeah, there. If someone just wants to like put it in the comments as a reminder every once in a while, feel free.
My honest feeling is that like when you try to keep essay wait, I thought Elle goes by she, her, and Sean goes by they, them.
L does go by they, them. I messed that up. Sorry, I keep saying she by accident.
Yeah, watch my legs. Yes, that Sean.
Do they both go by they, them?
I believe Sean goes by he, her. Or sorry, she, her.
Okay, I'm confused now. Okay.
She, her for Sean, and then they,
She,
them
her
for
for
L.
Sean and they them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She-
But when you try to keep like a essay and stuff like quiet, that's how more people get hurt. To be honest, that's not a Freudian slip. I genuinely didn't know, but okay. Um, I think that's how more people get hurt when you try to like keep it a secret. I don't know.
Echo, can I just ask why Wasabi was muted?
Here? Someone muted me.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but they just were talking in Irish's server. Apparently it was Bun that muted Wasabi, and I just think that's weird. So
Fun.
it's your live, it's up to you, but
You're good.
yeah, it's just like abusive mock
It may
trial. It's
have
kind of
been like a
ridiculous.
minute.
Anyway,
It may have been like a minute because I'm not seeing them in the mute thing. I have crack up mute
okay.
in the mute thing. And Xavier and the hoops muted.
Bun, grow up.
Oops.
Oh, 5 minutes apparently. Okay,
Hey, hold on.
that's cool.
Not
Just
too much. Not too much on Bun.
well,
Lottie, I don't believe that I did that, but if I did that, it was an accident. So, like, I'm sorry. I apologize for misgendering both Sean and Elle. Can't go back in time and change it. I can attempt to work on it.
I also did by accident. I genuinely got their pronouns switched up. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, in the future I'll try to remember.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Like, there's a big difference between accidental misgendering and purposeful.
Yeah, I would
Oh, yeah.
never do that. Even if I don't like somebody, I keep their pronouns correct because I would never want to invalidate somebody's identity.
We'll let the cis YT man up here.
Maybe Rika. I don't know.
I also just like wanted to, I guess, talk about the just like the like again, I'll say this. I mean, Sean lied today in chat. I asked Sean who came out with their story first, and that is when Sean said that, you know, she had come out with the story first, which we obviously know isn't true, as you know, talked on by the timestamps and also confirmed by Sean, because Sean wrote a statement saying that Sean came out with their story on April 7th. And they said that they finally were able to come out, meaning that they have not come out before. And we know that Elle came out prior to that, 2 weeks prior. So, no, you didn't come out first, and you lied because like, also the way that, like, I know that they lied is because Sean said in this message that, you know, her ex was going to was Darvoing, and how would you know that unless you had known that this person had come out and made an allegation against you? So yeah, Sean, you're a liar. I believe Elle. I believe that Elle was victimized, and now you are using Darvo against Elle, and I think that that is problematic and really gross. And it's a very common grape culture tactic, especially by, you know, specifically. Well, I'm not even going to say that because I don't want that to be twisted. But specifically, individuals that I have talked to on debate lives will do that. Opposition will often do that. And it's also been studied that there are specific individuals of specific, you know, specific groups of people who will do that. So
Also, I just want to add, Elle didn't come out 2 weeks prior. Elle came out during the Jones live. That's when she messaged Irish about Sean. Like, it was much It was like more than 2 weeks ago. That's all I want to add.
Curse the patriarchy. What transphobia against Sean? What statement were you talking about?
Sorry guys, I keep messing it up. It's not on purpose. They them. I keep trying to say that, but I keep messing up. It's totally by accident.
L is they, Sean is she.
I'm like good to respond to this. I'm just waiting for them to say what was transphobic.
Bex, can you explain instead of just saying Mac was transphobic?
I don't have Reddit. Curse the patriarchy. I deleted it because it was irritating me.
Yeah, like Nicole said, misgendering doesn't always equate to transphobia. Sometimes it's just misgendering and it's accidental. It happens.
Also, like, yeah, and also
Very
there's
good.
studies done that, you know, people use pronouns based on appearance, like subconsciously. So that's actually like a thing sometimes. It's not always on purpose.
So I know what they're talking about. So Drea just clarified, asking when Sean began identifying as a woman. So let me briefly. I don't know. Echo's layout is kind of messed up, but let me just look at this screenshot so that way I can see it, and I'll show you guys.
It's not my
So
layouts, it's your screenshots.
right. Let me find it. I think that it. I don't know. I think that was it. I don't know. I think this was it. Oh, of course, it's gonna do that. Let me go look into my camera roll and see exactly what the person said, so that way I can fully like explain and not misrepresent what this person said. But give me just a second.
There's beef happening. More beef than a cow farm.
Moo?
Y'all.
Is anybody going to bring up the fact that she uses breadcrumbs to batter chicken?
Yeah, that was weird. That was so weird. She was like, "You see breadcrumbs, you see oil," and it's like more than just fried chicken is made with breadcrumbs and oil. I'm so confused.
I brought that up in the Discord chat. I'm like, why are we talking about breadcrumb?
What's
Oh.
happening
Why
right
does that
Making,
automatically equate to fried chicken? I'm confused.
Venus
Okay.
Schnitzel. You could be making lots of stuff. Like, that's just weird.
It's her. She was trying to talk about like racism and shit like that.
It was giving Martha.
Yeah.
It was a little
Bringing
weird.
up racism to prove a point.
Oh,
It was a little weird.
I found what they were saying. So people in Kenzie, or not in Kenzie's, in whatever live this was happening in, I think it was Ernesto's live where all of these comments were happening. People were trying to discredit Elle. They were doing that earlier in Kenzie's live by suggesting that she was using white woman tears, and that her talking about her abuse is somehow harmful to the Black community, which would be true if it was false, but I don't believe Elle made a false allegation, and there's no proof to support that Elle made a false allegation. So no, her talking about her abuse. Sorry, them talking about their abuse. Let me correct myself. Them talking about their abuse would not be harming the community, because you're allowed to talk about your abuser regardless of what they look like. And especially if it's a true allegation, that's not gonna have harm. But anyways, so in chat, people were trying to discredit Elle by stating that one of the comments, and this is what I was responding to, was that Elle went by they, them, and Sean identifies as she, her, as a woman, right? And so I asked, was Sean like identifying as a woman at this time? And the reason that I asked this was because it is statistically proven that those people who use Darvo, the most likely group of individuals who use Darvo against their victim, especially when it's Darvo regarding SA, are men. And so if you were socialized as a man for the majority of your life, that does have some relevance. That does have some relevance to the fact that that could have been part of the socialization that this person experienced whenever they were growing up. So that was why I asked that question. So
get
you
it,
can
yeah.
not like me if you want to, but the way that we're socialized has a big impact on the way that we view the world, regardless of if you are trans or not.
Being socialized as a man has a negative effect on a trans woman. I'm sorry, I cannot agree with you on that. Trans women are trans women. They are trans girls. They are trans right from the day that they are born, and so they suffer from that incongruence. Even though they can present a certain way, it isn't the same. I'm sorry.
Wait, I think, Mac, are you trying to say that, like, being socialized as a boy or man, um, I don't know if that was, like, the right question to ask, to be honest. I don't know. It really kind of comes, off strange to me. But I just want to clarify, were you asking that to, like, talk about, like, how trans women are socialized growing up more than, like,
Tilly,
No,
how
what's up?
the point of that was to talk about the most likely group of individuals who use Darvo after an SA allegation comes out.
okay, but Sean's not a man. I don't.
But trans women aren't men.
No, I get that. But
Yeah.
like still the socialization and the way that you like grow up is still going to be it's going to be different.
Yeah, but so what would you say about people who are socialized as girls and women early on? Like, I
What do you mean?
there's
Like,
a lot of trans women that were socialized early on as girls, like their parents
yeah, I
supported
think that
them.
they have a very different experience from those who transition later in life. I think that you can have a
Can
different
somebody
experience.
disconnect for Tilly, please?
I'm gonna drop for Tilly.
Yeah, I just don't know.
I don't know. So like an
Just
example of this, would be if you like
just
let's
to
say
be
like a trans
clear, with TikTok's guidelines, I don't want any like fighting. I want conversation, but we're not gonna have fighting because I'm not gonna get
Yeah,
my
that's
life
fine.
taken down for fighting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not fighting at all. All I'm saying is I think
I know.
automatically assuming that someone socialized as a man is gonna end up doing
Well,
dark. Well, hold on. I think that can be problematic in and of itself. Saying that like men growing up automatically
so
abuse it. I don't know.
Can
did
you
they
hear from the trans woman?
Yeah, huh? What?
Um, I'm sorry. Tilly wanted to say something. I don't know if also you were trans. Whoever was speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Before.
I am.
Oh, okay.
Max?
Sorry, I didn't mean to invalidate you. My apologies.
Oh, what? Oh, no,
No,
don't
it's
worry.
okay. I just wanted to finish my sentence and then Tilly can go.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's okay to say that being raised as a guy or a boy will automatically make you, use Darvo or whatever, and then like carrying that pipeline over to trans women. That doesn't really, I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me.
That's not what I said though.
Could I? Mac, before I correct you into the socialization part, I know you are trying to you're trying to refer to that statistic, but I need to actually correct you about the socialization because it's important. And I know you don't come with any bad intention. The thing is, like, for a trans woman growing up, even if they transition later, you are growing in basically conversion therapy. Whatever sense of femininity you show, get corrected with pain. Our childhood is kind of an abuse. It's not like, oh, you are a boy, so go and play with the ball. And you say like, yeah, I'm gonna go though. No, it's like, I don't wanna go. I want to play with my other friends, you know? It's simple like I will wish you can actually not take the socialization stuff, because also it's kind of a argument that TERF use normally, and they have infiltrated into feminism with time. That kind of lies, you know, have nothing to do with you. I know you're not a TERF, so don't worry. I actually follow you for a while, but it's very important this, because our socialization is pain. Our socialization is getting denied. It's not, oh, you're a boy, then you treat women like that. No, because you are isolating yourself. It's not what you think. That is the only thing I wanted to tell you, Mac. The other things, I don't know about the other persons. I don't know about the other thing, but the socialization part needed to be corrected, I guess. That's it.
I'm gonna do this.
I mean, I do have a question.
So I'm gonna do this.
I mean,
I'm gonna
sure.
put a 10-minute clock. 10-minute clock on the screen. It is 1:15 in the morning. I do have to work at 7:30. So in about 5.5 hours, I do got to be up for work. So I'm gonna give us like 10 minutes. Then just we're done. We can pick this up tomorrow. I'm good with conversations like this.
Yeah, so my question is so like I guess like an example would be like an individual who transitions later into life.
I transition at 38.
Huh?
I transition at 38. What is considered later in life?
Like let's just for the sake of the conversation, like 25 plus.
I could see
Like
that. I could see that.
Yeah.
But the question is like, so the reason that I talked about socialization is because
you don't know
if
about
you
it.
well, the question that I have is if you present masculine, do you not also benefit from male privilege?
Do you gonna benefit of being harassed by the own people that's supposed to do you get benefits of having to act in your life and then anyway get harmed by one side, the other, up and down, religious and whatever? I mean, like, let me tell you, I mean, like, what kind of privilege?
Yeah, like so like someone who transitioned later in life, like you know,
Like me.
a trans woman
Like
who transitions later into life, in their earlier years, younger years. I'm just simply asking, can they not benefit from male privilege since they presented masculine for that amount of time?
Celeste does have their hand up as well. I can't really see your hand, Celeste, because it's kind of like squished in with your background. Sorry.
Sorry, but no. I would like to answer to the privilege question. Mac, if you got denied, since very early, since you know, your being, yourself, no matter how they dress you, you are not enjoying or benefiting of anything then.
I think what Mac is more getting at is when you're growing up living as a man before you transition, you learn traits like the toxic masculinity, just the whole crap that men do, right? The shit we hate men for. We learn all that. And then when we transition, we have to unpack that.
Maybe you, but didn't they, you know? Echo.
Tilly, what? But like, I think that's more what Mac is talking about.
Sorry.
Also, oh, sorry, Tilly, were you still saying something?
Celeste has their hand up, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that really quickly before Celeste goes that Nicole, I'm aware that women can be misogynistic, but women don't benefit from male privilege. They don't. So I am aware that women can have internalized misogyny. But the point that I'm trying to ask about is if you were brought up, as a man for X amount of years, even if that's not how you internally identified, can you still not gather all of the harmful traits of being socialized as a man for X amount of years?
I could see where Mac's coming
You
from there.
cannot be socialized as a man if you aren't one.
Tilly,
Well, if you
can you let Celeste go? Matt, can you let Celeste go? They did have their hand up. Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
I don't know. I don't like that this conversation is being brought up about a SA abuser. Like I don't
Yeah,
I really don't like that because it's kind of
Yeah, I would say it started that way, but it's kind of become like a
yeah,
broader
I
conversation.
I get it's a broader conversation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the reason that I brought it up in the first place was because like the manipulation tactics of Darvo, for example, which is, what I believe Sean is doing and engaging in. That would be something that is a learned behavior. And yes, men and women can both commit Darvo. But whenever you look at statistics talking about sexual violence in specific and who is more likely to commit Darvo as the result of being accused, it is men. And
cis
so
men.
I was
So,
trying
Mac,
to open up a conversation about whether or not the way that Sean was socialized had any impact on them learning these Darvo tactics.
Mac,
Look,
I would ask, do you have sources for statistics and data around Darvo, men, trans women, things like that?
I have a stat about Darvo and SA and who is more likely to be the individual who does that. It doesn't include trans women, it includes men and or cisgendered men and women.
Okay. Yeah.
but you know what? I mean, like, the problem I see in your logic is not about cis men making more Darbo, because Darbo is made for someone who is abusing. And most cis men tend to abuse, or most abusers are cis men. So that's why, it's a causality there. The thing is, trying to involve trans women in this or the trans of someone else, I don't believe it's a correct thing to do, though an abuser is an abuser.
Well, I can see where where Mac has come from, and I can see where you're coming from, Tilly, because yes, there is learned behavior that we have when we were raised as boys. It was ingrained in us, and we do have to unpack that
No,
and work on
I,
that. We do have
Jaco,
to.
I don't have that. I don't know what kind of work are
You
you
may
doing.
not have all that, but we
Yeah,
do, like a lot of us do have that. So it's
yeah,
something
but a
we've
lot
always
of
had to
trans
work on.
women, like they are binary trans women, don't have
But
that.
I can understand where you're coming from because
We were never standing in the
being
middle.
trans is a different lived experience and it's different like mentality than that of cisgender people. So I can see both ways.
I also like am not asking these questions
Tilly, it's you.
to
You're echoing. Sorry.
I'm not asking these questions to upset people. I'm trying to have I was trying to have a dialogue in that live, but it just wasn't working out, so I dropped the conversation. Because also like live chats you can really only type like what 2 sentences before it gets cut off, so it just wasn't worth it. So I'm trying to clarify what my intentions were in saying that and why I wanted to ask those questions and so like every single person on this panel right now has either
It's Tilly.
internalized misogyny or outward misogyny. We all do. Tilly, you're included in that. I'm included in that. Tor is included in that. Echo is. We all have internalized misogyny. Everyone in chat, also has internalized misogyny. So, like, I was just simply asking the question of if the way Sean was raised had anything to do with why they're engaging in Darvo.
Then
I think you
is
should
it
probably
fair?
look up the term called malgender. Tilly, can you please mute?
Pax, can you
Yeah,
let Red
Tilly, you're
No,
say
echoing
her?
Tilly,
really
you need to
bad.
swipe out and swipe back in order for it not to echo.
Well, we got a minute left. I want to let Red go because Red has their hand up.
Yeah, I apologize if this has already been addressed. So please shush me if I'm just saying a load of bullcrap. But I'm just a bit confused. Why you would talk about the fact that Darvo is mainly used by men, and you bring that up because the person that is perpetrating Darvo is a trans woman, and I'm very confused why there's a connection, because I get what you're saying, that like a trans woman could have some sort of socialization, but when we look at what's happening in the present, why is that connection relevant? If like you also say that Darvo can be committed by women.
Yeah, Echo's kind of out of time, but I could address that really quickly,
Yeah, if you want to go ahead.
if that's okay. Yeah, so the reason I brought that up or asked that was again because people in chat were trying to discredit the victim, L, by stating that Sean is, trans woman and L goes by they, them, and is non binary. And they were trying to discredit it based off of gender identities. And so I asked at what point did the assault, I wanted to understand if the assault took place while Sean was not transitioned, because again, I was curious if the way that they were brought up had anything to do with why they engaged in that and why they may be Darvoing now. And Sean also transitioned, I think, 2 years ago, or started transitioning 2 years ago. So they did have a later transition in life. So that's why I was asking those questions.
What is your sorry? Go ahead.
I'm wrapping
Sorry.
up the live, so I just want Red to be able to respond. Pax is gonna go live, and then before I end it, I just want to
Thanks.
say something
Okay,
to Max.
sorry.
So Red,
1 second, I have to go to work.
Pax, are
Okay,
you wanting? Sorry, I was just gonna ask Pax, are you trying to continue the conversation over there?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I can definitely continue the conversation over on my live.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll leave it to Pax's live.
The only thing I was gonna say, like I said, I can see both sides. I understand both sides there, because I do believe that even though we transition, like those of us that transition later, or we're perceived one way or another, we do still walk with a degree of privilege and
Don't
passability in
use
some
we.
stance. Fuck's sake, hold on. So we do walk with a degree of passability and privilege. A lot of us do. Not everybody's experience being transgender is the same. Okay. Um, Mac, I think it's important when you're looking at those studies, you got to remember trans people experience things a lot different than cisgender people, so that's a factor to take in as well. I would be interested in if there's studies around DV and stuff like that with trans people, um, and like how Darvo plays in with all that. And um, I think it's definitely, you got to look at it a little bit different with that nuance. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, it's not like a solid take. I'm asking questions, and I asked that question. So what people are frustrated by in the comments is that I asked if the abuse took place while Sean was not outwardly identifying as a woman. And that's what people are now offended by. And I guess I'm asking questions to get a better understanding from panel. I don't think I'm here to be a turf. I'm simply asking questions to get a better understanding of what other people think as well. And I dropped the
Yeah.
conversation in the initial live because, again, I realized that it wasn't going to be a conversation that could be had over messages in chat.
I think we should just go to PAX Live and let Echo go to sleep.
All right. Everybody, if you want to continue the conversation, please follow PAX. Please remember, keep it a conversation. TikTok TOS, we got to really watch the language now. We got to watch the energy of the room, just because TikTok TOS loves taking it down now. So, all right. Love y'all. Have a good night. I'm going to go to bed and then be up in the morning. We'll have some fun tomorrow. Good night, everyone.